Welcome, everyone, to Generation Den. I am one of your three hosts. I'm Dino the Gen X Marvel, your Gen Xer, who is with me as well.
I'm Atlas Novak, I'm your millennial, and I'm on top now because I was on the bottom before we started recording. So,
and I'm Cole Clayton, I'm the sex god.
Fuck it.
It doesn't. And here to talk about it with us is Billy. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys.
How's it going, Billy Wayne Davis?
Can you mofos hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Man, sniffing glue 22.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm
the sex god.
That's Dino. Yeah.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
We're doing pretty well. Our topic today is we're talking about middle names and just three named people in general because you got a triple name there. So
I think everyone has a triple name. I just revealed mine.
See,
you know what's funny is Cole Clayton is my stage name, but my full name is Clayton Zachary Cole Hicks. I have two middle names.
Oh shit!
Which
For
doesn't
sure
count as a middle name.
He's more powerful
There's
than
no
most.
middle name technically.
It's biblical and southern at the same time.
It's definitely southern. I don't know about biblical.
Horrible combination.
Kitty. Oh, there's a kitty. Hi, kitty.
It doesn't help when you travel if you went by all those names.
It doesn't.
Oh, I can imagine.
Why does it not help?
Flight risk.
God.
Just assumptions. When you're like, here's all my names. People are like, I don't introduce myself with all my names.
I definitely sound like a president assassinator. So
I don't even introduce myself with my real name. Forget about that. Like, I go by Dino the Genetic Marvel. Dino is not my real name. It's just what I go by. And the Genetic Marvel, as much as I wish it was my last name, not my last name. It's just what
I've also been called like so many different names throughout my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know how like in grade school I was just like B.W. Davis, I think is, and I think that's no one
Like
planned that.
You know what though? B.W. Davis is badass. Like,
from
that
what
sounds pretty hardcore.
Dope.
Well, it was as an athlete, it was dope, you know. And then, but from what I understand, no one in my family planned that. It was just like my dad's mom, my grandma took me to orientation or whatever kindergarten because they were at work, and just signed it B.W. Davis,
and then that's your name forever. It was like something on Ellis Island.
Literally, I was B.W. for my whole secondary school.
Okay, so W implies that you're from the South. I'm from Texas. I'm from Houston. Where are you from, Billy?
East Tennessee.
Okay, I can tell.
No, I get East Texas a lot, which is like it's a similar.
I'm not gonna lie, it sounds your accent sounds East Texas for sure.
No, it's very similar. My uncle lived in Houston for years, and so I would start. And I went down there a lot, and then when I started doing comedy, the Laugh Stop was still there, so it was like I remember I did the open mic there in that bar area, and then a couple of Houston comics were like, "Hey man, you're like funny," and then I was like, "Cool, yeah, no, I'm aware."
That's what I'm trying to do. So.
Yeah, and then
that's so much better than how it is in California.
They started. It is not like you were exactly right about the West
California.
Coast.
You're funny. I'm not going to tell you. You got to figure it out on your own.
It was. Well, I would spend time in New York too, and it's like in New York City, they're like, if you're funny, they're like, hey, come do my show. We want my show to be good.
Yeah.
And then when you go to LA, they're like, we're not trying to book anyone better than me. That's it's very. I mean, I'm not speaking out of turn, and I'm not really.
That is incredibly accurate.
It was fascinating. I think it's more than anything. I was like, well, this is not a good way.
Okay. So I know where I'm going if I come to the States because holy hell, that bothers the shit out of me, Billy. So I just want to shout out to everybody. So walkie talkies are neat. How's it going? Mick T and Chris, of course. Chris from Tennessee. How do you get a Texan pregnant? Come on her feet and let the flies do the rest. Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, dude,
See,
that's disgusting.
well, mind you, for Mick, it's
And
the
I
middle of the
don't. I
night.
think you could just say that about any place.
Also
Yeah.
true. Also true.
You know what
But
I mean? That's not like a
that's the
Texas
advantage.
thing.
The Cleveland comedy scene is interesting. There's like about 20 comedians, and 10 of them are funny. So like we just all
It's a good
show
ratio.
up together.
I was about to say,
That
I was like,
sounds
that's
nice.
still like that's an incredible ratio. That's like
'Cause
you're still
Very
doing
good. 1 to 2.
Listen, with that number of people, you can actually keep a secret too, so they don't have to know where the good shows
I'm
are.
not in the funny show.
It's good to know too. It's good to know where you stand.
I feel like we're all learning a lot today. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
That was one good thing about the pandemic for LA is like about like I don't know, like a sixth of all the comics either left town or just quit outright.
Yeah.
So there was like it's kind of like LA at Christmas time, where like a good chunk leaves, and like you get access to spaces easier than you did before. But after a while, people started coming back to LA, so it's kind of back to where it was, but not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the weird
Comedy
thing
Bureau
is-
sucks now, but
This is what I don't understand though. Like that's why people are so intent of holding others back when it's like, bro, you want to have the best possible show. You want to have a great time. Why would you ever be like, no one can be funnier than me? Hey man, that's like half of the universe is funnier than you. Trust me. Because if you have those kind of standards, you ain't funny probably at all.
Anytime I meet a comedian who I know is funnier than me, I'm like, hey, you want to be friends?
Yeah. Hey, you got some coattails I could ride? I would love to ride them coattails. If anything, I'll do a trick. I'll wave my hands and shit.
Why y'all think I got on this podcast?
my spirit animal is the parasitic lamprey. But why don't we ask Billy Wayne some questions before?
That's great.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Here we go.
starting off with this first one. What's an embarrassing song from your playlist?
Let me just look.
Like, I don't know.
Fuck, man, I need to go to the South more. Just people are honest. We're like, I don't know. I'm fucking look, and you're like, that's a reasonable answer. Man, we've had some crazy answers. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember salt? I remember salt. No, what was it? Silicone, sand.
Yeah. Diana Goodman from
God.
from 30-2010. That was her answer.
Mine was Ariana Grande.
I'll be honest about. Here, I'll do like the recently played. How about that one?
Fair.
That's like a.
Toronto drivers not letting people. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what they are. Walkie-talkies you need.
LA, New York. That's everywhere, man. Yeah.
You know what? When people stop doing it for the love of the laugh, everything just goes to shit. We're like, oh, I'm trying to make a career. Yeah, fuck off, man. Go eat shit. You know. I'm too sexy, right? Fred. Well, that's
Fred,
it.
that's
right?
a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, you know what? I'm embarrassed by it because he's like real cringy and shit, and I don't care for a lot of modern country, but there's this what's it? Diplo redid this country song called "Heartless" by this guy named Morgan Wallen, who's a kind of he's very popular, but it's kind of embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
But the remix is like, when they do that, where you're like, this is, it's just like one of those things where like it's hard to argue, like, because someone very talented got a hold of this and then they did their thing. So you're just like, even mathematically, I think it's good. You know what I mean? Where you can't even, the way they put this weird beat with the poppy song, and you're like, damn it.
I mean, like a lot of famous songs are like sample older ones. R.I.P. Coolio, like Gangsta's Paradise was a sample.
Listen. Go check out interviews with Prince. Okay, Prince the artist.
Yeah.
Called out on Arsenio Hall. Was like, no, I'm a musician. I don't need to sample. And he threw shade like a motherfucker. Remember, that's a man who was barely 5'3", threw shade like a motherfucker. Okay?
But that's because he could play all the instruments.
He could play everything. Yeah.
So it's
he was incredible.
He wasn't necessarily throwing shade. He's just like, I'm just like bored with what y'all are doing.
He was
You need
though.
to-
Like it was.
like-
He looked at the cameras like, You're like, oh, damn.
It's like I'm so bored, and I'm kind of doing heroin too. So it's like,
Well, listen, the '80s hit everybody different. It's fair.
listen, I'll say
No one
this.
there, so
I don't really do it on stage. I do it at some live stuff. It'll never go on recording, but I do talk about like, listen,
Yeah.
you know, there's some drugs you should never do. But if you're like already like super good at music, you're already good at it. You should maybe
Go
dabble
wild.
in heroin. It seems to help. Not, it won't make you good at music, but if you're already good at music, it seems.
Inevitable. It's just
Not even that. It just seems to really like break. It takes you.
like a magnifier.
It's not. I'm not happy about the.
It's like a comedian hitting DMT. I got you. You're just
I've
like, hey,
done it, and on my new special, I talk about DMT in that. So like maybe that's where this is coming from too. But it's also like,
sure.
If we're honest, and you do the. Also, and I said this in live shows, and people do not take it well at first, and then I explain it, and I'll never do it on a recording because it's just like,
Sure.
I'll try anything.
You know this is being recorded, right?
sure. So that's
Okay,
why I'm talking
alright.
about this. But
Yeah.
like, no offense. It's not the same as releasing an album. I'm not going to promote this the same.
Yeah. Of course not.
Yeah,
This thing
I'm
we're
just
all
kidding.
doing for free for the fun of it? Yeah,
kidding.
don't worry.
I'm just
doing
thinking,
heroin
we're
this
recording this.
week
I'm like,
now.
kind of different thing.
Yeah.
It's any music that's like moved you on some level that you really love, heroin's involved.
That makes sense.
Not even it might not be the people you immediately think or whatever. Some producer down the line, some backup session player. Like there is heroin on that magic somewhere.
See, now I'm wondering what happens if they, like in the U.S., they decriminalize all drugs and have like really good rehab programs. Then you start seeing
Oregon.
like, what?
Oregon.
It's
That's what
already
they
happening
did.
in Oregon.
Yeah, they decriminalized all the drugs in Oregon.
Oh, Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Did you not understand what Cole was saying?
I thought he meant organ, like internal
That
organs.
southern twang.
Yeah.
Oregon.
Oregon.
As
Yeah.
Atlas would say.
No,
I'm just
no,
happy.
it's not.
I'm just happy Billy and Cole are the type of Southern that are okay with each other and not the angry Southern. Like that's what I was like, did we do something wrong here? I don't know what's happening. And then they're like, you sound like that.
Well, I get along with everyone, so
that's true.
I don't know. Listen, I'm Greek. I don't know shit about anything.
it's like two dogs, Southern people. Like, do they like each other? Do they not?
Is it like the thing where they see each other on
Southern
the street?
people will get like if we feel attacked, we will. It doesn't
yeah.
matter if we like each other or not. We're like, all right.
Yeah, we sniffed each other's asses before the show, so.
It's okay.
I believe that's when the words like "bless your heart" start coming out, and everyone's like, "Hey, I know what that fucking means, asshole."
That means you're a fucking retard, is what that
Yeah,
means.
it's kind of. That's pretty mean. I was like, oh. I saw that. I was like, oh. I had old ladies say that when I was young, and I was like, I feel really bad about that now. It's not nice. All right.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Second question.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm an adult. You can't stop me. Billy, when was a time when, or now during your day-to-day, it's something that you indulge in where you're going, hey, nobody can stop me. Like breakfast for dinner, you know?
Oh, I'll eat a couple pints of ice cream at like 11:30 at night sometimes. So
Couple pints, not just the one.
yeah, no, I was honest. Yeah, that's like one pint. I wouldn't be like, man, I feel bad. I wouldn't.
Trying to hang out later?
What's your flavor of choice? Or flavors of choice?
I don't care. I don't like the
Whoever's
coffee.
in front of me.
I don't like the coffee stuff. Like
Same.
I don't care for that, but like, and I don't care for like a lot of junk in it. Like Ben and Jerry's. I think Tim Dillon said it best. He's like the problem with Ben and Jerry's is like always like one thing extra that shouldn't go. And I was like, yes, it's like he nailed that.
Yeah.
As an ice cream, he's just a fat guy.
I agree with that. There's too much. Like, why is ice cream? It's already dope.
Yeah,
Why do
let's
you
just
need to
add
throw much
cilantro.
sugar
You're like,
in
why
it?
is there cilantro in the ice cream? That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
I have
My
that problem
wife
with
one
Salt
time-
and Straw. You ever been to Salt and Straw?
I like the salt and straw.
I fucking hate Salt and Straw because
Never
they're making ice cream that like doesn't make sense of being ice cream. You're like
No,
strawberry.
no,
You're
but
like
you
yeah, and
you got to
rhubarb.
try like they're like just like the
Normal.
vanilla or the chocolate at Salt and Straw, because
Okay.
that shit is delicious. But I'm with you on a lot of. It's like I say the same thing about like a hipster coffee shop when they have like a little like breakfast stuff.
Mhm.
They always do it well, but there's always like one ingredient where like, why'd you put
Why is there
pine-
chili powder in my coffee? Like,
yeah, or why'd you put
That's a good thing.
pine needles in the bacon, egg, and cheese? Like it was like
Hey.
all of the ingredients were like
Pine needles.
great. You don't need to add to bacon, egg, and cheese. Like you don't. Just
That's fair. That's
it's
fair.
like Rocky
do the fancy
Road.
fucking toast. It'll cost $8 or whatever. But don't put the pine or rosemary or what. It's like, yeah, we made it taste a little awful, so you know it came from us.
I smell a bit coming on.
Yeah.
It's not a bit. It's just. I live in Los Angeles.
I'm telling you, that's a bit
Yeah,
right
both.
there.
It's,
No, it's just daily life. That's the problem.
Well, and my wife likes that kind of like, hey, we'll pay a couple dollars extra. Like, why? Because there's not much in the.
Yeah,
It's
women. That's
empty.
what they do. That they drive the entire economy that way, my friend. That's not.
No, I will say Rocky Road. It's in the name, so it makes sense. You're getting Rocky Road, so it should be a Rocky Road.
Moose
But everything
tracks,
else is bullshit.
backplates, that makes sense. Moose tracks,
Man,
all that.
Moose Tax,
Listen.
yeah, that's another one.
I
I like
remember.
Jenny's. It's over. They do a birthday cake thing,
Mhm.
birthday cake batter, and it's if you use it with marijuana, it's really special.
Guy, I remember when like I would get like, oh, can I get mint chip ice cream? And they were like, mint chip. Oh, I don't know if we have those fancy flavors. It's just
Van
Generation,
Llewellyn.
man.
That's
Van
a basic
Llewellyn
flavor now.
They
Yeah.
have the best mint chip. Van
a
Llewellyn.
good mint chip is.
It's no, you're right.
That is great right in the middle of June.
Mint chip.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right.
it reminds you that winter's coming and you
Right.
regret this day.
Yeah, my downstairs neighbor, like his window faces the parking lot, and like he finally put up the Halloween decorations. I'm like, it's coming. Which I gotta say, I love like fall and winter. I hate summer. So
You hate it? What do you mean?
Yeah,
you
I
hate
do.
it?
I hate. Okay, so I can always put on more layers. I can't go outside naked.
I mean,
Yeah, he lives in California. That's why. Southern California.
We both live in
Hey,
LA. Both.
I
But,
do that.
like,
I do that.
I
joke,
understand
too.
kind of what you're saying, but it's like, nah, it's like
Listen,
that
Billy,
going in
Atlas
like
is.
being hot and then going in the air conditioning. I mean, I know it's not like
I'd rather
the
it just be
environment or
cold and I
whatever,
can
but
like wear sweaters and hats and stuff. And
But
Billy.
I like that part too. But
Okay.
yeah, I also like being hot. It's like a fun.
all the good holidays are in fall and winter.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about holidays.
Oh, Billy,
I'm a
what Atlas
stand-up
is saying is he's
comedian,
just looking
so,
for an
like,
excuse
every
to get
night's
fat.
kind of fun. if
Yes,
I need it to
exactly.
be.
Yes.
So like
Move to the Midwest. I've been saying it.
Yeah.
Best decision ever made.
I'm up in Toronto, Billy. So for me, I'm
Oh.
like, yeah, no, I don't even leave the house. Like for August, I was like, yeah, no, that's fine. I'll just stay home. So, like, I don't need to go out. It's fine.
it's fine.
It's too hot
No, but
here.
okay. I'm
in the
also 6'2"
summertime.
and 400 pounds. So I'm like, I'm a humongous, giant, Euro trash Shrek version of person. It's
I think I've also been traveling my whole adult life.
nice.
Mhm.
So I think there's a part of me that's like, well, it's hot today. Wherever I'll be tomorrow will be something different. So
Mhm.
when it's nice, I'm always like, this is cool.
Which I think we need more of. Like realistically, just appreciating the moment is a good thing.
I lived in Seattle
Yeah.
for 6 years, so I really got tired of like clouds and stuff. But
Okay.
so,
fair.
Yeah.
but now I live in LA, so like when it's cloudy and stuff, I'm like, hey, this is nice because I know it's not gonna
Y'all
stay
have
here for
clouds
9
there?
fucking months.
There's like one cloud. There's one
Yeah.
cloud. It just doesn't.
There's no clouds in LA.
It
It gets cloudy, man. It's a weird
it's
place.
like it's
Okay.
definitely a thing.
That's not what I believe.
What's up, Joey? Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to go through all the comments too. Where they shaved monkey dressed like Tom Cruise in a thrift shop hanging. What the fuck, Mick T?
I don't
Thank
know what
you.
he's responding to.
All these-
Why don't we
I
just
can
ask
see
him
it.
the next question then?
That's a
Okay,
good
well,
point. There you go.
Next question.
Yeah.
What do
So
you
what was
mean I'm
the
an adult?
what was the first time you like felt like an adult or were seen as the grown up in the room?
He's like, what? This never happened.
No.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I think. Oh, I know. And I think because I played sports,
Yeah.
and my parents were teacher, and my dad was a coach and a teacher, and like that kind of stuff. So I was always like in leadership roles on those kind of.
Oh.
So I think the first time I was like, motherfucker, I'm like, was like in like when I was in junior college. And it wasn't something that, I was like, I'm going to be the leader. Like, I wasn't even the best player, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, everyone was like, you're the leader of the team, kind of like, you can guide us to what's like too much and what's not enough. And I remember just being like, I can feel this happening and I don't like it. But like, it was like,
No.
there was like certain nights where I was just like really felt like fuck, and I think that led to me drinking in excess probably a couple of years later more because I was like I'm not gonna take, I want to be the dumb one for a while.
That's totally reasonable.
Yeah.
That's totally
It's like looking back, at the time I wasn't conscious of all that nonsense.
No.
But like as a grown up now, you're like, oh, that's probably what that was, and then some of it's like, oh, you're an idiot too. So.
Yeah. I find
But then
that
I
happens
remember
a lot.
feeling like an adult when I bought a dryer in my first marriage.
What was that like?
I didn't even feel like an adult when I got married, but I had to buy a dryer.
Do you need it? Is
And
it for sale by chance?
And I was like, man, this is like, it was like I didn't want to spend that fucking money on that, but we needed a dry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like,
gotta dry your clothes and shit.
I was like, this.
You can hang them out. You live in the South.
No, I lived in Seattle at that time.
Oh, it rains all the time. Never mind.
Yeah.
And people might just steal your clothes off the line.
Can't dry your. You don't wear dry clothes in Seattle. They're always wet, even when they're clean. It's raining constantly.
I can tell by the sheets that are hanging up behind you instead of curtains that there is.
Actually, he's right. This is a sheet.
No,
background.
I'm a.
It's wet.
I have a second wife that I currently live with, so I'm aware of like a woman's touch and what needs to be done and stuff. And when you being like, you don't need a dryer, and you're like, you do. I don't. You don't. None of us here really do. But if you like living with a lady, and that's like, all that.
I live with two men. Two early 20s men.
No, he said with no context.
I'm the oldest person
that you hung as a curtain. You didn't even throw it in the dryer to like try to de-wrinkle it. You
dry things. Come on.
Or like even, and I know there's no iron in that house, so
not a button-down shirt either.
With the apartment,
not one. Not one button-down shirt.
Y'all couldn't even steal one from a hotel where you had like a gig or something, like just no.
No, I have an iron. It came with the apartment. I've never used it.
Life.
Generation Dan becomes r/roast me. That's
Atlas.
Really? Oh,
Atlas, I got a question.
I'm not roasting as much as I'm just like extremely accurate.
He's right. He's 100%. Atlas. Atlas, I have a question for you. Do we iron things?
I think when we
they do.
I've never ironed. I tried to iron something last year for court, and it didn't go well. I burned myself. I burned myself and my kid. I burned both of us.
As a feature act in my 20s, I thought, oh, man, my generation doesn't do a lot of stuff. And then when you sober up off the road, you look around and you're like, oh, they do all this. I'm the I've just been hanging out with dirtbags and drifters.
There you go. That's the winner.
And it's because they're okay with me never being here. And then when I am, it's just like, hey, that dude's laying on the floor for a couple days. He's fun.
That's me.
And then he's like funny too. He knows a couple famous people. It's really weird. And then every now and then he's gone for a year or two, and then he'll come back, and he's like funner. And now he's still laying on the floor, but he's been on TV once. It's even weirder how we're jealous of this guy laying on the floor, and we have money in our bank accounts, and he doesn't.
Happiness.
It's is what they were searching. That is a lot
alcoholism also.
Well, they didn't. Yeah. Well, I think that helps with the road and keep going to numb some of the stuff, because it's not a great idea. Like, anyone with sense, if you were sober, you couldn't get good at comedy.
No.
It's sober. You have to be like a legit lunatic to be like, I'm gonna push through this sober for 10 years so I can get really fucking good at it.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's almost me. Almost.
Well, almost. But
Alan, you are a lunatic, bud.
Well, because it's like I have a condition that makes it so I can't really like experiment with drugs because it might give me a seizure, right?
That's awesome.
So I have to be super deliberate.
A condition is also, you have a gift, is what that is.
It's called autism.
Well, no,
it's called epilepsy, my friend.
I know plenty of people with autism.
I'm just saying, all I've done is weed and drinking, and that's it. I've never done the cool shit. I've never done mushrooms.
I can't wait till you start smoking weed for real, and you show up to one of these shows with like a beanie. Like,
too hot for a beanie, my friend.
So you have epilepsy? Is that what you said?
I do. I have a mild form of epilepsy called nocturnal seizure
I wouldn't
disorder.
fuck with any of those. Mushrooms you can if you fuck with weed because it comes from the earth, but I've never done LSD because dudes make it, and I know dudes.
Dudes make
what I mean?
And you know dudes. That's a fair qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes
So like,
make it, and I know dudes.
at the same time, I've done cocaine, so
that's my reason for not doing.
This isn't the court of law, bro. It's fine.
I'm also saying, don't think that I'm also like, well, I have these codes and then when I say stuff, I'm like, well, that's not. Also, I drink Mountain Dew, and dudes make that. I don't anymore, but I did feel like it. It's like, it's,
Wait, Alex, can I call you Little Seizures?
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Well, he doesn't have little. I'm sure the Seizures aren't little. It's the.
You can ask my girlfriend. She's seen lots of them. It's weird. So like,
how long have we been together?
Has she ever drawn you a mustache on you?
No.
What the fuck? Why sponge at the mouth?
So
I don't think the panic ever goes away when they happen. So I don't think she's like, oh, here comes another. Where's my shark?
Yeah, but if she's pissed off, and he's been a dick all week. You say,
I've never seen one and been calm. You know what I mean? I'm calm in emergencies, but you're not like, let's do a bit.
Well, just like, okay, so
the energy's not let's do a bit. It never
right.
We've been together 2 years as of last month.
She's seen a lot of them? Jesus.
Yeah, she has seen a lot of them.
You don't have a mild form of epilepsy. I hate to break it to you. That's a real form.
It only happens during sleep. That's the mild form. Like, I've never had like my day interrupted.
What if you're like just part dog and you think you're just
might be? That's a possibility. Oh my god, you broke Dino. But the one time I've gotten to see myself have one because I did a study where they like hook the nodes up to you in the hospital and they like try and trigger one, and like they have a camera in the ceiling because this is a hospital. So they showed me the video after, and what it looked like was I start to have it right. I look like I'm doing the Thriller dance, this thing, and she walks over, rolls me on my side like you're supposed to. Don't want a Jimi Hendrix, right? Roll me on my side, hits the button to call the nurse, and then sits back down and keeps playing on her phone. Like she is just so. She's like, I'm cool. Like that's what you're supposed to do.
That was also in the hospital. That wasn't like
other times.
She's in your apartment. She's just like,
yeah.
And you're like,
Seizures.
Yeah,
No.
she could. I think she might attack him. That's very fair. Atlas, is it safe to say that you didn't watch much 80s, 90s anime? You would have been easy for
no. It's again. It's
only
not
when
like
he goes to sleep. Yeah,
it's not that kind of epilepsy. But I see what you're getting at. The Porygon episode of Pokemon. Yeah, Atlas 2 Nova.
Also,
strobe lights.
Well, the first time I found out about that, literally everyone on the comedy show just grabbed their phone and started flashing.
Yeah, they started like flashing.
He's like, you guys are such fucking assholes. We're like, that's true.
You were doing it too, Dick.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, definitely. I wanted to see you dance. A question from one of our viewers says,
"You fucked up.
You four are stuck in a crowded bus. Would you rather let out a scary loud burp or a scary loud fart?"
I have no problem with either.
I'll go with the burp. I think burps are less like.
It doesn't matter because I can't smell anything. So I had my nose broken when I was 5. So my shit's fucked up. So I'm good to go.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I'd go with.
I think more than the bone broke. Sounds like.
Yeah. There's no bone in your nose.
It touches his
cartilage.
Brain. Listen, I'm just saying. I would be more worried about trusting the fart for my own safety. Not anyone else's.
We've talked about it.
Like, that's not. That is thoughtful. If it's like when they said it's like loud, you're just like, well,
yeah. If I can let out like a brap, 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 sure, but I'm not. I can't guarantee that. It might be about, and you're like, oh.
See, now I'm just thinking of like
no seating, just standing.
I'm thinking of that scene from Almost Famous where they start singing along to Elton John, where they're like on the bus. It's like this like big emotional moment, and then you just hear someone go, "Hold me closer, tiny dancer." Yeah, like that. That would be pretty fucking funny, I think.
I think it also depends on what city you're in on the bus.
Interesting. Like what?
Also true.
What's an example?
Because like if you're like in a like a very like in New York City, I wouldn't fart. I think people would get aggressive. I think you could get away with burping.
Well,
I feel like if you're gonna fart silently and fart near a baby. That's the best way to like.
Or and I don't mean this mean or a fat person.
That's fair.
It's like that's. I mean, if we're doing survival skills here, that's
blame it on Dino.
Oh, are you kidding me? My wife blames me. We'll be in an elevator and she's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "You know that wasn't me. It wasn't even her. She's blaming someone else's fart on my asshole."
Bro, I fart.
I traveled with Ralphie May. I used to do it on purpose to him.
Oh, that's fair. He would laugh about it, I'm sure.
Oh, he knew what I was doing. Yeah, he thought it was. He's like, you know,
what are you gonna do to Ralphie May?
I was like, that's why I do it in elevators, loud and stuff. Sometimes, like it's like funny.
Yeah.
I've been working on a joke where I'm like, listen, there are too many people these days walking around with a fart in the chamber. You're like, if you walk around with a fart in the chamber, you're a bad person.
I don't understand not like if you're in public, like walking through like the street or like the airport, you can just keep like I just fart while I'm walking.
Yeah.
If I have to, like I don't understand people that hold it. That's weird. Like if you're on the plane, you should get up and go to the bathroom and fart or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but like walking in public, like that's weird to hold it because you're just like it's just chatter.
Yeah.
And if you're walking,
like
unless you just like stop and do that and call attention, no one knows.
I had somebody do that. They were walking up the stairs though. It was not cool.
That's not a thoughtful time to do that. No.
Flat ground, you're on the move.
You know what I mean? It's like COVID rules. If COVID will blow away between there, you can fart. You know what I mean? Like that's the outside.
I farted in a room where it was only me and my son, and then blamed my son and made him cry. You're like, it wasn't me. I'm like, yeah, it was. Like, who else would it be? Obviously, it wasn't me. Like,
oh my God, you traumatized your
not
kid.
Surprising.
I'm awesome by traumatizing my kid. Good stuff.
That kid's gonna have a lifetime of constipation issues because of you. Okay.
I mean,
like, no, it wasn't me. I held it in.
He either gets the joke or he doesn't. If he doesn't get the joke, I keep it going. That's how it goes until he gets it.
Right.
Or I don't know if that's a joke as much as like he trusts you because you're his father figure.
He shouldn't.
Like,
he should not. He's coming from a father who had no father. So I'm making this up as I go along.